Of the season, 4-4. Chelsea, 3 comebacks they had to stage during that game. City thought they had won it. There was some contentious, terrible refereeing in this game again. The penalty for Manchester City, consistent shirt pulling from City players on Chelsea not being penalised. The penalty at the end has upset a few City fans as well. And there should have been at least 2 more minutes played at the end when the referee blew the whistle. But it was an enthralling, an exhilarating game to watch. And I think Chelsea Football Club demonstrated today why people like me have been saying what I have been saying now for a little while about them. Don't sleep on them. They may not be scary right now. They may not be potent right now. They may not be at their best right now on the 12th of November, 2023, but they are building and they are cooking and they are going to be a great team again. So any banter you want to throw their way, enjoy it while it lasts, because they just put 4 goals past Manchester City. 4 goals past City, who haven't conceded 3 or more since they beat Man United 6-3 13 months ago. They showed tremendous tenacity today, Chelsea did, to bounce back, not just from being 1-0 down, being 3-2 down, being 4-3 down, but from going 1-0 down to a penalty that wasn't. Chelsea are growing, Chelsea are developing, Chelsea are becoming more resilient. They're growing that thick skin which is needed. They absolutely are. Now, a draw, look, people say 4-4, it's a draw. What does this mean? They put 4 goals past City. They were tearing through them at times, and they are nowhere near the completed article. Poch has had them for 3 or 4 months. They are 12 games into their rebuild, and they've just done that against City. You could even argue, if you look at the refereeing decisions today, you could argue they've been slightly robbed. You can argue that they've been the penalty in the beginning. Who knows what City would have done if they hadn't have got the lead? The game would have been very, very different indeed. So Chelsea, I think, can walk away with this with pride. They can walk away with this knowing that their team is developing. Of course, they'll be gutted because they were 2-1 up. Of course, they'll be gutted to have not won this game. I think that some Chelsea fans will feel like they deserved it. And I certainly think they were the better team for large parts of the game. But you're playing against Manchester City. And Manchester City are the best team in the world. They can have what I would consider to be an off day like today and still score 4 times. When you've got Haaland, takes half a chance and he's going to score. Where I would say that Chelsea were the better team is 2 of the goals that were scored by City. One should never have been a penalty, and the other was a very lucky deflected shot. When you look at Chelsea's, you could argue their third, with the poor save from Ederson. He pushed it too far out the front. But still, that's an error that's led to the goal as opposed to being outright lucky. So 2 of City's goals on another day are not going to stand. Those deflected goals happen every now and then, and it's never a penalty in a month of Sundays. So Chelsea will be disappointed. I think there'll be elements of them that will feel hard done by. But the performance is where the sustainability will grow from. And they were up against the best in the world today. It went 4-4. It's become not just a modern day Premier League classic, but this is a Premier League classic. This is an English football classic, a game, especially for you youngsters that don't remember the 4-3s between Liverpool and Newcastle, all the classic games between Man United and Arsenal in the 90s and early noughties. This is a classic. And in 20, 30 years' time, this game will still be spoken about. It was that good. There's such high quality football, great moments, arguments, fights. The controversy adds to it as well. It was an absolute showing. And as far as the title race is concerned, this is the perfect result. They go clear at the top by a point, see. But Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham, even Aston Villa, all there hotly pursuing them on their tails. You've got Chelsea now, who I think are demonstrating performances that soon are going to turn into more wins. This isn't a team that is going to remain in that mid-table area for much longer. I think by the end of the January period, or as we move towards the next international break in March, you will see a team knocking on the door of the top 4. You really, really will. But overall, I thought Chelsea can hold their heads up high. Shout out players for me. First and foremost, Raheem the Dream Sterling. best performance in a best performance in a Chelsea shirt, and the irony, it comes against his former club, Manchester City. He won the ball back so regularly. He pressed so well. He was aggressive, obviously scored his goal. He was instrumental in everything good that Chelsea did today. I want to shout out Nicholas Jackson. 6 goals in 11 Premier League games for him. So raw, still a long way to be developed. But in the space of a week, scored a hat-trick against Tottenham and goes and picks up a goal against Man City. And there's still got to be lots of improvements in him, but he deserves a lot of credit for what he did today. There's no doubt. I know he scored that deflected goal towards the end, but I thought both Thiago Silva and Disasi were very, very good indeed at the back. I was very impressed with Reece James. I know he has to come off nursing, getting back into the game, but what a performance from him at right back as well. But the standout Chelsea player for me today was Cole Palmer. Yeah, the penalty. Listen, I've never been someone that's written off penalties. They are goals. I count penalties the same as I count screamers, especially decisive, gilt-edged, nerve-wracking, important penalties like he had to put away. Imagine missing that against your old team, who your parents support, your family support, your sibling support, your friends support. And I think that the jury said it right on the commentary. The City boy is the Chelsea man, and it was a moment for him, a coming-of-age moment in many ways, and he stepped up. But his overall performance and that goal that he almost scored in that second half, where he jinxed past Rodri, cut through the City midfield. His shot just didn't have enough power on it. It would have been one of the goals of the season, no doubt. He was absolutely majestic. He really, really was. He really, really was. I'm going to go to your super chats very soon. I want to get your views and opinions in. I'm also going to shout Gallagher out as well. I thought Gallagher put in another really good performance. And I know he's starting to change the opinions of many, 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 many Chelsea fans out there. So I want to know what you think and what you feel. Of course, we're going to talk City on the show as well, but I'm starting off with Chelsea as the home team. So City fans in the comment section, we are coming to you. Please remain relaxed. We're coming to you. The panel's coming soon as well. Much to talk about. Now, we have to talk about the penalty in this as well. We have to talk about the penalty. Because for me, I can't have it. Yes, he's got his arm around his waist. But firstly, and most importantly, he wasn't getting to the ball anyway. He's not getting to the ball. Thiago Silva clears it with absolute ease. Secondly, yes, he's holding on to him, but he's not got the strength to push him and pull him down. Do you know how we know that? Because a few seconds before, Haaland dragged him around like a rag doll. Dragged him about like a rag doll. And that's why it's not a penalty for me, because I can get in real time why you'd give it, because the linesman might be looking at something else, and then when he looks over, he sees Cucurella holding on to him. I get in real time, but this is where VAR should do its job. They go back, and you can see both players pulling and pushing each other. Haaland is the first one to pull, where he pulls Cucurella towards him so that he can run and get goal side of him. So if this is a foul, the pull that was committed by Haaland prior to it is a foul. Now, they say there's not enough clear and obvious evidence. Well, we don't know that, because you need to ask the referee, what did you see? Or the linesman who probably gave it, what did you see? Well, I saw Cucurella pulling him. Did you see Haaland pull him first? No. Well, therefore, it's a clear and obvious error. Now, I'm just surmising here because we don't know, because we don't get privy to the information. But for me, never a penalty. Twice yesterday in the Man United game, they showed the replays on the stream I was watching. The same pulls on Maguire, not giving us fouls, not overturned by VAR. There were similar pulls and pushes in the back on multiple Chelsea players today, and nothing given, even in the middle of the park where you normally get them. So for me, it was the second time we've seen in recent weeks Manchester City get an absolutely catastrophically soft penalty, an abomination to the game. Now, I'm going to say it like I've said before. I know City fans will cry. This isn't on Man City. I don't think City have done anything wrong. I don't think City are paying referees. It was a weak decision. This is on VAR. It was an absolute shocker. Absolute shocker. In terms of the penalty, look, Bro was really clever here. Pro just left his leg there. Diaz can't stop because he's sliding through, but it is a foul. It is a foul, 100% a penalty. This one here was the correct decision by the on-field referee, and of course VAR checking to make sure it goes through. But I do want to get your opinions on these. There are a lot of City fans online saying it wasn't a penalty at the end. It was soft. The player played for it, therefore it's not a foul. Of course, we all know, and every City fan worth his salts know, they didn't deserve a penalty in the first half. So give me your thoughts and give me your feelings on that. But overarching, when it comes to Chelsea, listen, I was really impressed with them today. And you know what? There's still areas for them to tighten up. They've got to keep their shape better when they're leading. They still need to improve on the overall quality of player they've got in this team. And some of that will come with their players growing in age. You know, Caicedo looked his age a lot today as an example, although Kyle Palmer doesn't. But they still need to go out and buy, I think, some more elder statesmen, some more experienced players to help this team. But there is a team. There is a quality team here that is being developed by Pochettino. In the coming weeks, in the coming months, you are going to see more of this, and you're seeing why I think this Todd Boehly regime, it may have started slowly. It has definitely made big mistakes, but they're not terminal mistakes. And everybody talks about Chelsea like their problems are terminal. They can't be turned around, and I think this is categorically wrong. Look at the Arsenal performance. Look at the Tottenham performance, even before the red cards. Look at what they were doing. There's a team there. They're just getting back on their feet after what was a disastrous year, and they should be proud of themselves today. They really, really should. Let's do some super chats. Lots of them have come in before the panel comes out. Let's go through these here. It says, City open style played right into Chelsea's strengths. Incredibly entertaining match. Yeah, I thought the match was absolutely... I couldn't agree with you more. The match was absolutely impeccable, Doug. It really was. Game of the season. This is why we love football, Terry. Chelsea cooking Cole Palmer. Chelsea cooking Cole Palmer was ice cold to take the penalty. Sets up the Liverpool game nicely. It certainly does, Daniel. Please ask the Chelsea fans about Caicedo. If Rice had a performance like that, he would be getting slandered. The man hasn't shown his worth. Hashtag standard. He hasn't shown his worth so far. I think a lot of Chelsea fans would agree with you. Best moment was Haaland scoring with his balls. Yeah, I can't believe they tried to rule that. They were looking at that as a handball, by the way, and it might have touched his elbow. I'm so glad they didn't rule that out because it's never, ever a handball. Agree, Chelsea robbed, though. I'm not pushing that same reason like you. Arsenal agenda. Fair enough. Caicedo is going to be the flop of the season. Sterling was on fire. That's a real interesting one. Does anybody else agree? I've seen it. I've said it time and time again. Sterling is by far the best Chelsea player. He is oozing pure class right now, and he scored one and sent 2 balls for 4 goals. He is class, and Palmer is class. Thank you, Luke. He was great today. Anthony Taylor strikes again, everyone. Yeah, listen, he got some things right today. The Doku dive as an example. We got the penalty at the end correct. But that penalty early on, when Chelsea, by the way, were in the ascendancy, swung the game back in City's favor and made it a lot harder. Everyone said we would get smashed. Everyone pipes up City like they're still the same team. They ain't. But I still think City are an amazing team. I just think everybody else is getting better. And I want to shout somebody out here, and you guys can clip this up and send it to him. And I want to shout out Egal. I predicted a 2-2 draw. I predicted that Chelsea would be able to get something out of this game. So my prediction's wrong. It was 4-4, but I thought it'd be a draw. Egal made claims on the Top 6 show that he felt Chelsea could get something out of the match, and he was ridiculed by lots of the audience and the panel for almost, you're just disregarding City like they're nothing. And sometimes football isn't about the stats. It isn't about the history. That plays into your past, but there are times where you go, I just think. And he said City would open up an attack. Chelsea are putting good performances against the better teams, and I think they've got a chance in this game. He went, if they take their chances. And that is what they did today. So I want to shout out Egal because he was almost laughed at for suggesting Chelsea could get something out of this match, which I thought was an abomination of an opinion. Not Egal. People saying that there's no chance Chelsea get something out of this game. And Nav, where you are right is you can get a City. They're amazing. They're the best. But it isn't as though the other top teams in England are a million miles away from them. You've just got to be prepared to give it a go and play them. A Diwali gift from the boys to us, a character, keep the blue flag flying high. A happy Diwali to everybody that celebrated. Robbed up the Chelsea, Cole Palmer, ice in his veins is from Moose Wizard. Every time we play well, the ops had an off day. Yeah, listen, I don't think City had an off day. I think Chelsea made them have an off day. Chelsea were really, really good. City is still amazing, but Chelsea were absolutely brilliant today. Matty says, for the first time in a while, I'm proud of my club. Well done. Congrats, Matty. Remember that I said to you last week, Terry. Remind me what you said, bro. I get a lot of super chats. And by the way, I love my people. Thank you all for super chatting. Please hit like buttons. Please subscribe to the Football Terrace as well. This is the kind of game I wanted at Tottenham. Come on, you Blues. Palmer reminds me of Hazard. This kid's sensational. He's great. He's got everything. And look, City are probably not going to letting him go over the long term because they'll replace him with quality. But what a player he is. I'm looking at him and I'm genuinely jealous as a United fan looking at him. I hate moral victories, but this is the exception. Toe-to-toe with the best team in the world, and some unlucky calls went the other way. Haven't seen City look that exposed in a while. And Nkunku, Lavia back soon. And that's the thing with Chelsea. They're coming back soon, and more money is going to be spent. More money is going to be spent and invested. It's why I can't believe people are writing Chelsea off like they're just going to, like their mistakes made by Todd Bowley and the Clear Lake Group were terminal. They're not. Put some respect on Chelsea's name. Fighting spirit is what Dan Cole says. I am proud of that performance. Anthony Taylor is a disgrace. Man should never referee again. He tried everything possible to give City the game. Felix here says, for me, this was what I expect every game from my team. We should have won and need to turn up this way against bottom teams. Poch got it right today. A big call there from Felix. Are they scary? I've been telling everyone what scary their building is going to be scary. And one day you're all going to wake up and realize it. Disgrace, cheating City. I hate City now. 116. I don't think City cheated, D. Reece James absolutely pocketed Doku. What a performance today from Reece James, considering how long he has been out. Class. Chelsea against 12 men. Sheesh, is what C says here. Well played by Chelsea. I'm pissed. Diaz should be fined for giving away that penalty. We need KDB back ASAP. Should have buried Man City ourselves. Showed resilience. Thank you. Manchester ref, though, denied handball. Unlucky ref. We know what you are doing. Taylor knows we are dangerous. City was lucky with that handball. What handball? The Haaland handball for the goal. Or are you talking about a different one? Maybe I've missed one. Maybe I just missed it. How can you name the video City bottled it when Chelsea went toe-to-toe with City and thoroughly deserved the point? Because they had the lead 3 times. And they're the best team in the world. And I would expect the best team in the world, if you take the lead 3 times and one of those leads comes with 7 minutes to go, the best team in the world sees it out, or anywhere in the world. 3 times they had the lead. Twice they got luck to go ahead and they couldn't keep it out. So that's why I put that down, my friend. I think that is. And I think if any team did that, there is an element there of, look, Chelsea forced it. Chelsea forced them. Like yesterday, Spurs bottled it. But Wolves had to force that on them. If Wolves just sit back and didn't try and attack, then nothing would have happened. But yes, that's why. Sterling had Walker on strings today. Caicedo got cooked today. Thoughts as well today. As an Arsenal fan, happy with the result. Yeah, but Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans are buzzing with the result today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Chelsea does. We create stars. The latest is Cole Palmer, Disasi, and Jackson. Poch has shown his quality today as well. Chelsea looking scary. Masterclass from Poch today. The Premier League is an expensive product, but Sheikh Mansour is a very rich man. Toe-to-toe with the champions. Chelsea is back, is what Kanyol has got to say here. Easily the best game of the season. It's one of the best, honestly, it's one of the best games I've seen in years. Remember when Poch had a dig at Arteta for complaining about VAR? He better not say shit. Well, no, didn't he say I'm not talking about Arteta? I swear he said that, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I misheard him. Proud of the boys. What a game is what Kit says. Terry, stop that. Clear penalty on Haaland. Fair play to Chelsea. That looked really dangerous. In the end, we take the point. City stayed top of the league. Listen, you're entitled to think it's a penalty, but for me, do you know what it reminded me of? different scenario, but the same principle. So when Casemiro got sent off for grabbing the Palace player around the neck, I can understand because he put his hand around his neck. But if they would have rolled the tape back 5-10 seconds, they would have seen that a Palace player had done it to a Man United player first. So it's either both get reds or no one gets reds. I think if they bring that video back 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and look at the whole incident, you see what happens. And when you're pulling on shirts, you have to do that. You have to see you initiated it. Because if I'm having my shirt pulled, I'm going to pull yours back. If you've ever played football, if you're pulling my shirt, I'm pulling yours back. This is what VAR should be doing. Referee or the referee's assistant might only see one of the pulls, but you may not have initiated it. So they should look at that, review it, tell the ref what they've seen, and then make a decision. And maybe that's what they've done, but I very much doubt it, my bro. How is Anthony Taylor the ref of this game? Shameful. Yeah, he should never be refereeing at this level. Poch is the Pep whisperer. That's what Harold says here. I like that. Why does every half decision go City's way? Why has the PGMOL never had to apologize to City? Pep's Barca literally paid Spanish refs 7 million, and no one talks about the implications of that. Look, I don't think that City are cheating. If evidence comes out in the future, I'll eat my words. I don't think City are paying to get decisions to go their way. So I'm not gonna lay this at the feet of Man City as a football club, their fans, their manager. I don't believe that's true. There's no evidence of it. What there can be, though, is a psychological bias, which isn't City's fault. I know that Man United went through this, and referees spoke about it years later. The idea of giving the wrong decision to the best team or the most powerful team or the most celebrated teams, it hurts people sometimes. So there could be that going on. But I just think this is an incompetence at refereeing, and everyone gets damaged. If the referee is bald, they should be banned. The commentary confirmed the ref gave City the penalty, then the Lino and VAR confirmed. Okay, fair enough. I didn't realize that. Thank you. Are we not talking about Walker's handball? I don't remember Walker's handball. Or do I? I think I do. I don't think it was one. But I'd have to see it again. A lot happened in that game. Can we talk about how Enzo can't run? He even had he's not even better than Johan Kabay. I like Johan Kabay. Also, Gallagher bullied Rodri. Rodri should be a centre forward, not a DM. We'll save that one for the panel when they come out. There's no super chat there, but thank you very much for putting it in. People keep hitting like buttons for us as well, by the way. Chelsea feel formidable again. Keep the blue flag flying high. Refs are in bed with money and City getting a free ride. Arsenal and Man United funded Chelsea's rebuild. Yeah, thanks. Sterling is him. Anthony Taylor a clown. Gala dog 12 men. This here says Guardiola fouled Connor, leads to City's third goal. Okay, I'll have to go back again. I don't notice everything because I don't watch the football with the commentary up most of the time, so I didn't hear about that. I didn't see it. Very impressed. We need to practice against low blocks so we can defeat lower teams. Against big teams, we are good. Gala, Cole, Sterling, 10/10. Reece James, wow. Doku got cooked and had to be subbed off. Finally, Sterling came to play. Good game. That bad ref can sit down on a pine cone, is what African Giant says here. Every club in the top 6 can point to Howler's decisions that cost them points except City. That's what's going on. But I don't know why City fans act. I'm sure City fans can remember some. I know they can remember some in the Champions League in years gone by. But yeah, that's what I asked them. I don't remember off the top of my head City having many go against them personally, but I could be wrong there. Not a penalty, handball goal, handball Walker, no free kick. Oh, the handball, yeah. See, that's an interesting one because it was outside the box, not deliberate, and there was no recourse for the VAR to get involved. What would have been interesting is to see a replay. Was that ball going to go to Raheem Sterling? And if so, could you deem that Raheem Sterling was going to run through on goal and maybe score? Potentially. I'd have to see the replay again, though, but it was accidental. Close proximity. I don't think they're handballs. So I'm going to be fair there to Man City. Arsenal and Chelsea in the next 3 to 4 years will be the best teams in the Premier League. Mark my words. It's a big shout. Carl Walker handball wasn't spotted. It wasn't seen by the on-field ref and referee's assistant. But they saw a little shirt pull. It's weird, man. Should have kept the powder dry, City fans. Dan Walters here. It says, what a game that was. Everyone said Chelsea would get smashed. Proud of that performance. City pen was never a pen. Cold Palmer. Galadog up the Chelsea is what Dan Walters says here. Ayu back with us with the super chat says, Chelsea played beautifully, but I'm still waiting for Enzo hype to come to fruition. I think Enzo and Caicedo are going to be fine. If I'm giving you my honest personal opinion, I think they're going to be fine. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Also, the foul on James before the Haaland pen. Yeah, but that's what I thought. Yeah, that's a really good point. There was definitely a little. This is the irony. There was definitely a little push, and this is the irony of it. If a defender's about to head the ball and the striker pushes him like that, they give a foul. So if they haven't seen the foul, it has to be a clear and obvious error. So there is that you could definitely look at. And I look at it this way. The City fans may not want to admit this today, but if that penalty was conceded by City and Chelsea got it, they would be complaining. And that's how you know. I think the penalty that Chelsea got at the end, everyone's just, I think most level-headed fans will go, yeah, it's a pen. And we have a go at the defender for making the tackle. That tells you all you need to know. Obviously, Enzo is still injured. Why the slander? Caicedo, not his best game. Even so, he contributed to 2 key passes and 1 big chance created. He contributed 1 of the 4 goals. And Super Chelsea, we keep marching on. City, hold that. Pep, be quiet. Don't come to our backyard and beat us because we are dangerous. Palmer 4-4. I'm so proud is what David has got to say here. And Chelsea fans do seem very proud. Terry, thoughts on us today? Yeah, look, I said it in my opening monologue. I think there was a growth today in Chelsea. There's still areas to improve because you did lead in the game and you still conceded 4 goals. You are against the best team in the world. So there's some, not excuses, but there's some reasoning behind that. There's still areas to improve. I think you need to go out and buy some more experienced players. But as I told you all, 2 summers running, yes, Todd Bowley's made mistakes. Yes, Chelsea's beginning of this new rebuild has had teething problems. But what they're trying to create long-term, all the guys that hate Todd Bowley, like Johnny Minerals, I get why he's annoyed. But they truly don't understand that the way Roman was running Chelsea, how it created success in the early days, in my personal opinion, in 2023 is impossible. You need more sustainability. And Chelsea are trying to build that very quickly. They've made mistakes. That's why they were poor last year. They're starting to improve. This notion, this idea, this thought, this feeling that Chelsea were going to pale off into the darkness, that their mistakes were terminal, is beyond the joke. Enzo and Caicedo just overused by the national team. I don't know what you mean. How is it this early in the season we are talking so much about refs? PGMOL needs to come out and admit the level is not good enough. They won't. They'll protect themselves and rivals make it easy by laughing and bantering one another. We're going to bring out the panel now. We've got Ches. We've got Man Like Winter Surfer. We've got Alex, who's back on the show with us this week. And by the way, Alex, I don't know what happened to you on the backstage last week. I never kicked you out, my bro. Love ya. We've got V coming on, Man City fan. And Egal is here to talk to us, who deserves big apologies from a lot of people. And I said that earlier on in the show because he was laughed at the other day for suggesting that Chelsea could even mount a challenge in this game against Man City, which I thought was crazy to actually have a pop at him over. But make sure like buttons have been hit. Nearly 12,000 people watching, which is absolutely unbelievable. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you for tuning in. Can't explain to you how humbling it is. I want to say thank you to everyone that watched the Squad Breakfast show yesterday on Rumble. Me, Don, and KJ did that. 207,000 views on our first ever video on that platform. So I want to thank you all very, very much indeed. Everyone who's gone and subbed to us, everyone who's watching the shows over there. Time for the panel now, people. We'll bring the Chelsea boys out first, then City, and then Egal. They're all here now with us. Crazy game today, gentlemen. It really, really was. I loved watching it, especially as my team beat the might of Luton yesterday. So I was in a good mood. But I want to go to Don first because obviously it's not a win. But to come from behind 3 times, to go through the adversity of the penalty early on, the crazy deflected goal, some refereeing decisions not going your way, how proud were you of the Chelsea performance? And does this validate what you've been saying for weeks, that there is something cooking at Stamford Bridge?
100%. I think, listen, today we played the best team in the country. And like I was saying earlier on Never a Foul, I said, bro, we're going to come out and play our game. I was being told that we're just going to sit back. We're going to let City have the ball. And I said, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to play our game and see what we can do and obviously catch City on the break here and there as well. But listen, I'm proud of the boys today, man, because one thing that I've been saying to the Chelsea boys in our group chats and stuff is that at the beginning of the season, we would go down first and then we've showed no fight to come back. Do you know what I mean? Today, I was seeing a lot of fight. We had to come back, was it 3 times? We had to come back today. Do you know what I mean? It was a joke. So I'm happy with that performance, man. Probably the best performance that I've seen this year in terms of how I was moving the ball, in terms of our finishing in front of goal. And I was saying to Daps earlier and Kunle and them on Never a Foul, I said, listen, it's very dangerous to say Chelsea don't score goals, so we're not gonna do much today because we're very inconsistent. And guess what? Today our attack actually stepped up. Sterling was really good. You know, Jackson, that was a good finish. Overall, he wasn't that good to be fair, but that was a really good finish from him. And we created chances, like I was saying, Terry. Do you know what I mean? As much as I respect City, I've also been saying week after week that we've got a good team. As much as people want to run away from it because of where we are in the league, we've got a good team and we've got a lot to build from. So I'm happy with today's performance, man, because at one point in that game, I was like, listen, we need to win this game. But to come back like that and for Cole Palmer to get the dagger, I'm gassed, bro. I'm gassed by that. I can't lie. I'm gassed.
No, I absolutely agree. Ches, do you echo this? Are you equally as proud of the performance, or do you think there are some Chelsea fans in the comments saying, but we conceded 4, so we shouldn't be that happy? Like, what's your opinion on it, mate?
Yeah, man, like Don said, bro, I'm so happy to see fight, determination, quality up front, and goals. They're the things we've been lacking start of the season. And I was really happy today that everyone went us off. Most people, shout out Egal, he didn't. But most rivals are like, you don't stand a chance. City, yes, Tottenham and Arsenal did well, but City's a different level. And when they come to your ground, this game, bro, look at the stats at the end of the game. Look at the eye test. We were toe-to-toe with City, and most teams in the league can't say they did that. We scored 4 goals against City. The attack played brilliantly. Sterling, Palmer, even Gallagher, whatever. The agenda of Caicedo and Enzo is a bit lazy. I don't think Caicedo had a bad game. Enzo, yeah, was a bit iffy, but it was more defensive issues, which
Enzo was good in the first half, bro.
Yeah, but people shouting like Enzo was crap. I'm thinking, what's everyone talking about? It's an easy agenda because he got subbed off. But anyway, back on performance, I'm gassed for everyone who watched this game to see that it wasn't just 9 men Spurs why we got that win, why it wasn't lucky, goals against Arsenal scored last minute, and that's 2 stupid draw against Liverpool. We've consistently shown that when teams play with us, we can play back. We can compete. It's just against the smaller teams. And today showed why it's an easier fix to get the striker we need than to, for example, lose against the big teams and not compete. So today we showed competitive nature. We were tenacious. We showed that spirit. We came back 3 times, Terry. 3 times in the game. I bet Chelsea fans are thinking, it's game over here. It's game over. That penalty at the end was clutch as well from Cole Palmer, man. So I'm just happy to see that, the team has something to push towards. And we're just proving it again that there's a lot to work with this team. People looking at our league position, they're not using their eyes. They don't watch the game properly. Yes, stats are an element of the game, but you need to watch the game to show Chelsea actually playing quite good football. We're not playing badly to be where we are right now. It's just finishing. It's inconsistent, like Don was saying. So I'm happy, man. I'm just happy. Even though we drew, and I've got standards that are here. Everyone knows this. Who's watched me. I will take the draw, and we fought against City, a team everyone said we didn't stand a chance. Rubbish.
Terry, what was the first thing before my monologue, Terry, on the video that we did the other day? I said, first thing that I'm going to say is I'll take a draw against Man City. I've literally lost my voice because the way I shouted, when we got that penalty, right? We deserve that. Do you know what I mean? We deserve that point. It feels more than just a point because now after the international break, we've got Nkuku to come back. We've got Lavia to come back. Do you know what I mean? So when it comes up
against... Not even that, bro. We've got 4 points from 6. Spurs away, City at home.
Yeah, we've got 4 points from 6. We're coming up against a Newcastle team who are deflated right now with injuries. Then we've got Brighton, who we've already beaten this season, and then we've got United, who are United this year. Do you know what I mean? So listen,
I agree, and I see people saying things like that's dropping standards, but this is the point. It isn't. That is a straw man argument. Ches and Don are not saying I'm happy to just draw with City forever now. What they're talking about is they know how far their club fell. And they are seeing signs that they're going to get back to the top. So they're just celebrating a marker, a milestone of a turning point. And I think the biggest turning point today, apart from the style and the goals, Gallagher looking better, was the fact that last season and early this season, when you conceded, Your towels went between your legs and you fell away. The fact that you stood up and you standed up and you made yourself be counted, that confidence is being reinstilled into this team. It doesn't mean you've made it. It doesn't mean everyone's going to lower their standards and never expect a Premier League title again and just to start drawing games. But what I think it does mean is that you focus, you know you're getting better. That's my view on the outside looking in anyway, as opposed to, oh, you're lowering. I don't think no standards have been lowered here at all. I'm going to go to V in a minute. I'm going to go to Alex as well, but I want to ask you, Egal, because you obviously got a lot of stick on Thursday night when you said, I think Chelsea can get something out this game. And people almost looked at you like you were an alien talking Martian. They didn't understand you. And I backed you then. And I wanted to shout you out really and say, well, not well done for your opinion, but people just dismissed Chelsea having any opportunities, any chance of getting something out of this game. And what's your thoughts now reflecting back?
They show the fight against these teams. They raise their levels against teams that are the big teams. Because guess what? Against the smaller teams, it's a different type of game. Pochettino even said it themselves. They struggle to break them down. But in games like this, it's much more kamikaze. It was like a basketball game at certain points. There was so much space. There were so many opportunities for them. And their players just don't have to think too much because guess what? It's pretty much they have much more space. So that was my whole logic. The logic was it was going to be a much more open game, and that's what it was. Now I didn't predict a 4-4. I had a 2-2 or a 1-1 draw in mind, but 4-4, that was a spectacle. We have to give both teams credit. That they showed fight to continue to keep fighting because Chelsea before they would have dropped their heads. City when Rodri scored, they probably thought they won the game, and I thought both teams had moments where they were good, but really and truly Chelsea, they're starting to turn a corner, and these games against the bigger teams is showing. Last season, I think they only had like a couple points against the top teams. This season already, draw against Liverpool, draw against Arsenal, they beat Tottenham, and they draw against Man City. It's showing that they're actually going somewhere positive with this team, and that's why I was pointing them out. I think they might struggle against small teams still, but guess what? They don't have any teams that are going to be playing that kind of football for the next couple of weeks. So after the international break, they're still going to be flying high.
Also, on your point, Christopher Nkunku comes back. People don't realize how big that is for Chelsea. You know?
Yep.
That guy came in as people don't understand. In football, when managers lose players like Nkunku, they have to change their system because he's that good of a player.
Not if you Tottenham.
We haven't seen him play yet. So don't get too ahead of yourself. He's coming back from an injury. Don't put too much pressure on him.
No, but I'm trying to say that it's going to look even better.
You can't get any worse than this. Are going to be your guys. They played outstanding today. I want to give them credit. The two City guys were the guys who basically raised their levels and held your team up. And my final point is Anthony Taylor. He's not fit to wear a referee shirt. Ever.
Speak on it.
He cannot be a referee in the Premier League. He needs to move on. There was a handball late in the game he missed. The penalty it should have never been a penalty in the first place because you should have brought it back when Erling Haaland fouled Cucurella. Overall, I felt like City, their quality, they thought they were going to be able to see through the game, but Chelsea showed some fight that they weren't expecting. That's what happened at the end.
Bro, I thought Rodri done it for them. And we weren't stopping. We didn't give up. We went all the way to the end. And it's only going to get better from here, man. It's only going to get better from here.
Alex, what was your take on Chelsea today? And specifically, I want to ask you, we know how much everyone loves Palmer, Sterling. Particularly, I want to ask you about Conor Gallagher. He was kind of part of that trifecta last year of Mount and Havertz and Gallagher. You pretty much all wanted them gone and out. He's been a captain for you this season. I'm talking Chelsea fans in general. That was a general consensus. What have you made of his resurgence this year and his performances, especially in these big games as late for Chelsea?
For me, with Gallagher was one thing. You know, those are guys that like when you have a fight, like you want to have with you. That's who Gallagher reminds me of. You always want to have the guy like that in your corner. So, for example, if you the guy in front of you stronger, he's gonna beat you up. But at least one thing you can do, you can remind them like next time you go home, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna remember me because you're gonna have a pain under your ribs, you're gonna have a pain in your jaw. That's what I wanted out of Chelsea versus City. And Gallagher is that kind of player that he will not stop fighting no matter who's in front of him. He knows he's gonna get beat up. He's not tactically as good as the opposition is, but he will leave the mark on them, and that's what he does. I was just happy he didn't get the yellow card from the beginning, because if he would have gone to get the yellow card, that will be a different Gallagher. That's the one point.
Yeah.
But I will I will take one thing that you said earlier, like give Egal flowers. No, that's a passive aggressive thing that Egal always does, and like I don't take no freaking flowers from. Like that's like passive aggressive thing all the time.
I called the Tottenham win too.
Good for you. Good for you.
Hey,
I ain't giving it to you. I just don't give it to you nothing because you're a passive aggressive guy. That with the way you talk, you didn't. It was a wish or hope in your conversation when you said that Chelsea is going to do.
No,
You
bro,
were
I
hurt
knew you
anyway.
guys were gonna show up. Come on.
But I was just impressed with Chelsea with the whole freaking starting lineup, with the whole team, with the subs. It was perfect. It was perfect the way Pochettino set up. You can see what he wants to do. Even the front three, you know, like the midfield. I start to see the midfield and the defense building something, like Don said earlier. There was something there that you can actually see it in the previous games. I just wanted to actually go into the offense a little bit more. And thank God Sterling decided to show up today because he was on fire today, man. He was. I don't know.
Alex, bro. He cooked them.
I don't know who got the man of the match, but he deserved man of the match. I'm telling you.
Again.
Yeah,
But I think.
You know what I'm saying? That's him.
Yo, if Michael Jackson scores, you know you're doing something good with the front
That was
three,
a
man.
good goal, by the way. Hey, I know Jackson wasn't good overall. Like, to be fair,
But that's done. Those kind of strikers that you're talking about, that done overall, those are Agueros.
Of course,
the ones that complete finish. Like, did you see Haaland during the game? Like, as much he comes. You see what I'm saying? He comes in the moments. This is what you actually want out of your strikers. You come in the moment.
Yeah,
that's the biggest important part with the strikers, for my opinion. But
totally agree. V, from a City perspective, how are you feeling about this? You know, you led 3 times, let it go right at the death. Obviously, it doesn't damage the season too much at this point or anything like that. No one's throwing any crazy claims around. But what did you make of your team's performance today?
I'm really disappointed with my team's performance. I'm really upset with what I saw today. They played Chelsea like a mid-table team. Like they played down a level. They were sloppy with passes. I want to say this was Ruben Diaz's worst game that I've ever seen. He was going to ground way too fast. He cost 2 goals, in my opinion, because he was on the ground, couldn't react to a deflection for Jackson, and he was on the ground too early and caused that late penalty. I'm going to say this. Actually, I should have said this first and foremost. Chelsea showed why they're the pride of London. They showed why they got 2 UCLs. They showed why they most recently won a Prem amongst all the teams in London. They're the class in London, and so I got to give them a shout out to that. And they're going to be a problem. They continue like this, and like they said, they get healthy bodies back. They're going to be a problem. But City, we can't keep doing this. So I predicted a 3-1. I predicted a 3-1 with a City win. I said that on Egal's channel, and the guys did not play defensively to that level. Offensively, I had no problems. I thought we were a little sloppy. I thought we could have actually been a little more clinical, but defensively, we were just so poor. So, it's a humbling, man. It's a humbling, and I think it's doubly hurt because I think Rodri picking up another yellow might have him miss the Liverpool game. I'm not sure. I gotta look that up, but I'm not happy with this.
I'll check that. You're not happy with it. Was this a case of you playing badly, or do you think this was Chelsea forcing you into it? But I can't remember the last time I've ever seen Pep City lose the lead 3 times in a football match.
I don't even think they played badly. I don't know what if you guys. I don't think you guys played badly. I think you guys played well.
Surrendered. We gave up some poor possessions in the midfield. Like I said, some of those passes.
You surrendered, or we forced you to make.
This one I'm going to get at. I think we had more sloppy moments than we typically do, and that's why I said we played like you guys were mid-table, but you guys didn't play at a mid-table level. You guys played at your level. You guys.
But don't you think that the fact that was pressing your midfield made you play like that? In possession, Man City were doing what Man City do. Like I've been watching a lot of you guys this year, and initially you weren't looking as fluid as what you're looking like today. For example, like today you looked quite fluid. When you was attacking us, I was thinking, shit, like they could get something from here. Doku was cooking on that side as well in the first half. So I'm just a bit. I'm a bit confused because I don't think.
Also, I've got a point on this. He's touching on something which I've heard a lot of the times. This is the same thing that was said against us versus Arsenal. Oh, they didn't turn up. Chelsea just pressed us. Spurs. Oh, we lost 2 players. That's the reason why you won. Today it's where people can look at it and go, maybe Chelsea's press and our organisation, and when we get our foot into the game, we perform at a level that puts the opposition in a certain position to make mistakes, to see chances, etc.
Bro, there's so many times
the opponent. What if Chelsea are doing enough to put players in that position to get red cards or to make mistakes? From minute 1, Enzo was challenging, winning the ball. We created an attack in the first minute of the game.
Bro, this is what I was saying.
Yeah, but I'm talking
on
overall.
Friday when we were talking about the game. I was saying the way that your midfield is constructed with what do you call it, Caicedo, Enzo, and Conor Gallagher. It is made to neutralize the other team's midfield and to try to negate them from doing what they do best. And that's what you guys did against Arsenal.
Isn't it how you play football?
But you know what? The thing is, they still somehow scored 4 goals. It was an absolute thriller. But
that's because they are who they are. And that's the thing. They can just do that. They've got, and I want to speak about the goals though for City, because the first thing I want to speak about, of course, with the panel after we spoke performance is, I want to go Don first on this. The first penalty that happens, obviously we saw pulling from both to begin with, then a pull from Cucurella. This was given as a penalty, kind of against a run of play. What did you make of it, Don, as a Chelsea fan?
I don't think that was a penalty, in my opinion. Like Cucurella was grabbing him first, and Haaland was grabbing Cucurella's shoulder first. Cucurella grabbed him back. They're both grabbing each other, and that was the end of it. That was the end of the phase of play.
No, it was not the end of it.
That was the end of the phase of play. It wasn't a penalty, in my opinion. Because if you look at it, Cucurella wouldn't have grabbed him if Haaland didn't grab him. Haaland grabbed him first. You need to watch it again. Haaland grabbed his shoulder first, and then Cucurella grabbed him back. They're both grabbing each other.
Can I ask you a question? Did Haaland, by holding Cucurella, took advantage of Cucurella to get in the position in the first place?
But Alex, who grabbed?
No, not Bennett. Maybe look. I'm asking you a general question.
No,
they both hold each other's hands. Did Haaland took advantage of the jerk on Cucurella's hand to get in the position in front of?
He did. He was holding.
That's the foul.
He was holding Cucurella back.
Let me jump in. You two are agreeing with each other. You just don't. You're actually missing it. What Alex is saying, you're actually agreeing with each other. Haaland fouled Cucurella first.
And
then Cucurella pulled him back. He did. And do you know what it is? And this is why these fouls being given, the reason why I think they're an abomination is because when you actually watch when you isolate it down to what the referee has seen, you go, oh yeah, that's a foul. Or, oh yeah, that's a foul. You watch the whole sequence and the whole event. It was 6 of one and half a dozen of another, and they should never be given. Plus, and I want to get your take on this, V, Haaland weren't getting to the ball anyway.
That's not what they're calling. They're calling whether he was dragged down, and that's the difference, right? It's a contact sport. You can tug a jersey, you can pull a jersey. It's whether you grab the man. And Cucurella grabbed Haaland. He had his arm around him. That's when Haaland went down.
Grabbed him first. He literally grabbed him first.
You can't. So hang on a minute. I want to go back a bit. So if I grab a player's shirt and pull him to the floor, that's okay.
But no, okay. That example, no, it's not okay. But a pulling of a shirt, both of them did it. It's until he grabbed Haaland, he had his arm around him, that he went down.
So the way he pulls, in your opinion, the way he pulls Cucurella to get ahead of him, you think that's acceptable in football?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, and it happens all the time, offensively, defensively. Like that's why when it goes too far, when you grab,
that's fine. So based on that, then you think that Cole Palmer should have got a penalty then?
Yes.
When Cole Palmer?
I'll tell you why. Because when Cole Palmer dribbled through your team and run through on goal, you had 2 players that were leaning on him, and you had Rodri had his arm, not pulling his shirt, on his shoulder, so he's holding the player. So you therefore, and by the way, that also happened in the Man United game when Højlund was going through. I think it was Stones had their arm. So do you believe that should be a penalty then?
I don't believe that should have been a penalty.
So why is it not a penalty when Rodri has got hold of him, but it's a penalty when Cucurella has hold of Haaland? What's the difference?
Because the difference that I saw, and I'll go back and watch it again. The difference that I saw was when Cucurella had Haaland was being pulled. When Rodri, when you're talking about arm on, hand on, shoulder to Cole Palmer, I did not see an off-balance Cole Palmer falling backwards being pulled by Rodri. That's what I didn't see.
He couldn't.
Cole Palmer was in. Cole Palmer was
Terry,
literally in
he
control.
literally stumbled forward.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he stumbled because of the
He just
contact
no,
against his
later, he
leg.
just
No, he
decided
stumbled
to-
because of the
Cole
contact.
Palmer, Cole Palmer.
That's a foul as well, then, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a foul then. It is a foul.
Like,
You're not-
but let me just jump in. I'm being really, I'm being a little bit kind of pedantic here because getting a penalty the way you did is an exaggeration of the law. Yes, he's holding on to him, and you're not meant to do it. But the point I'm making is that the arm on the shoulder from Rodri onto Palmer and leaning into him is technically a foul, but they rarely get given. The way that Cucurella held him for a split second, when you look at it in just a bit where he's Haaland's ahead of him and he's running, it looks bad. When you watch the whole sequence, it's 6 of one and half a dozen of another. I don't think any of these things are penalties, by the way. I don't think that Cole Palmer should have had one. I don't think these things are fouls. You're right. It's a contact sport and these things should happen. What I don't like is that things are being given in isolation and not being reviewed properly. That's the part for me, which I find crazy. Does anybody think...
That's my problem, Terry, because the energy that they're giving for Cucurella, right, doesn't match the energy that they're giving Haaland. That's the problem that I've got. If you're not going to give that as a foul for Haaland, pulling on Cucurella, you can't give the foul for Cucurella pulling on Haaland back. You just can't.
But that's what we are trying to ask you, and you said it's a penalty.
I said it's not.
Okay. I thought you said the penalty.
Yeah,
I was like, that's why I was asking you.
You and Don agree. Don't fight with each other. You
Sorry,
actually
Don.
agree with each other.
I said it's not a penalty.
I thought you said the penalty. That's why I was asking.
No. I said definitely not a penalty. Definitely not a penalty.
Okay, never mind.
But for
My
me, this
apologies.
just highlights.
Here, I got to drop, but I'll look to come back.
All right, cheers, mate. No worries. Kings, what are you saying, Kings? Kings Football Show. What are you saying, bro?
For me, this just highlights what's wrong with PGMOL. They don't understand football. It's like they've never played football. And this is why you need footballers deciding the rules. Because obviously, Haaland is much stronger than Cucurella. And he drags him, so he comes in front of him. And that, if that's not a foul, then what Cucurella does is not either a foul. But this is the problem we have. When these guys who don't understand football...
So you're so right. The amount of times I watch football and you see a 5'6" midfielder nudge a 6'4" Brickhouse who's a centre back in the back, and he falls over and they give a foul, and it's like as if he could push him over. And that's the thing, as if Cucurella is really impeding him. Like again, you've got to look at these things in reality. And for me, I just thought it was an abomination of a decision, really. Again, and like I know City, this is what happens every week when we talk about this. It's not an attack at City. You would also be fuming if that penalty went against you. Some super chats here. 11K in the chat. Smash the like button. Please get that done, people. Put some respect on Egal's name. Yeah, he deserves it. All the fans complaining that City paid the refs. The same ref didn't give Connor a second yellow for pulling down Grealish and stopping a counter-attack. Did Grealish deserve a second yellow, boys?
You mean Conor Gallagher?
Conor Gallagher, sorry. Yeah, sorry, not Grealish.
I didn't even know he got the yellow.
Yeah, I think Gallagher was lucky to not get sent off. But again, it's just kind of highlight what's wrong with today's referees. Yeah. Again, they don't understand the context of the game. They don't know what's a foul, what's not a foul. This week they will give this a foul. Next week they won't give it a foul. It's just, what does clear and obvious even mean? When is something like 90% clear, and when is it 80% clear, and when is it 100% clear? It's just a stupid rule to have.
Mate, it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. I agree. This here says, I believe in conspiracy theories because broadcasters are in on it as well. They didn't show replays of the close calls. Don't think it's... Listen, they did it yesterday in the United game. There was twice they told us that VAR was checking Maguire being pulled down on penalties, and they didn't show on 3 different... I saw it on mine, but a lot of other channels didn't show it. A lot of people going, where are the replays gone? So I believe in it as well. King Cantona here says to me, everything this Terry, you mean this? You watch me every day when you say this Terry. You know who I am, bro. I'm your daddy. He says this guy Terry says about Chelsea applies to United. We are going through teething problems, and we are... Listen, there is a difference. So if you're telling me that you think Man United owners are going to get this right, then fair play. Now, there is a chance if they give full sporting control over to Sir Jim and Co. that we could change. And if I can see fundamental changes being made internally, I will have more leeway with what's going on the football pitch. The reason why I've been frustrated on the football pitch is because I don't see any long-term change happening because of the way we're being run. There is a fundamental difference between these two things, and they are not alike. It's like comparing an apple to a piece of coal. That Gallagher shot and Jackson goal reminded me of the legacy Lampard and Drogba clutch goals. Caicedo was naive today, should have calmed down.
Perfect word for Caicedo, by the way, because
Yeah.
he was pressing a little bit too high. And when you get too close to Man City players, they're flary, bro. They've got technique. They'll get out of that. Do you know what I mean? Even when Kovacic, when he came on, he was giving him a little bit of a torrid time as well. So yeah, Caicedo didn't have his best game, man. But he's been solid past few games.
Yeah, but overall, he's not been a bad player. So people.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. That's what I said.
He's been hyperbolic saying, waste of money. I get his banter, but like, come on. He's not been bad at all. Nor Enzo, but he is what he is.
He's been good. He's been good. Even against Spurs, he was solid, bro.
I mean, if we're gonna go minute by minute and expect Chelsea team to be criticized minute by minute, you're gonna find splitting hairs everywhere.
Every team. Yeah,
exactly.
That is what
but
football,
you don't look at the games like that.
That's what football's becoming. Like I said in the beginning of the show, there are still issues at Chelsea, but people we're all guilty at times of doing this, and some people do it more than others. They talk about problems like it's terminal, and it can't be fixed, and you can't improve, and you can't make things better, and it just makes conversations difficult. It makes it really hard to have a conversation because we had it with Will the other day. Yeah, Arsenal ain't getting any better. Why is that? And he based it on things that can change. They look really good on Saturday, but they're never going to play better than they have been so far. Some things are just not as black and white as that. There's a super chat for you here, though, Don. This says, big up, Don. Has Gallagher won you around yet? He was great again today, in my opinion. Who was everyone's man of the match?
Yeah. Dan, you'd be happy to know that I done a pod the other day with Lewis on Chelsea Fan TV, and I said I would give him a contract. I'll give him a new contract. He could definitely be a good squad player. You know, what I'm seeing right now is a player that's obviously got, you know, clear instructions from manager like Poch. When I was watching him with Lampard and Potter, it was a mess. But now Gallagher's actually looking like he knows what he's doing on the pitch, and on the ball, he's improved a lot, bro. He's improved a lot. So I'll be happy to keep him around, man. I'm here to be proven wrong, and I'm here to be proven wrong. That's what it is. That's what football is, isn't it? So yeah.
Do you know who they remind me of now these days?
Who?
Ronaldo from Liverpool.
Who?
Ronaldo.
Yeah. Work hard, press hard, covers a lot of ground, decent on the ball, but never gets his flowers. But he's important for the manager.
It's not a bad shout.
That's what Ten Hag thinks of Mount, though. Sorry, had to put
that's right, mate. I hear Ahmed joined us. What do you want to say, mate?
Hey everyone, I hope everything is good. I'm actually happy as a Chelsea fan. This has been one of the best weeks of my life as a Chelsea fan. I haven't had this in a really, really long time. Oh, this feels so good, Terry. You don't even know how crazy this week was, because my friend, one of my dearest friends, is a Tottenham fan. And he has been robbed to the floor this week. Twice to lose while you're being up top, shoving it in my face and my throat for the past 3 months. This has been pure football orgasm, as Eric Cantona says. Honestly, I feel like we need to question a lot of the things. I think Jackson, even with the goal today, he has shut a lot of haters up. But I feel like we have to change our idea about him. Maybe he's a poacher, not a runner, dribbler / kind of a striker. Maybe he's just someone who will stick in front of goal and will expect goals from. And on the long term, you don't know how he will develop. I want to see this midfield with Romeo Lavia, even in Nkunku to get back. I want to see how these players will be shoved in the team. It will be a really big headache for Pochettino. And I think we have proven to be big team FC. Small team FC is just bad. We're going to lose. I know that the next match we're going to play against some bottom half team and we're going to lose like 3-2 or we're going to draw like a stupid 1-1. I just know this is going to happen.
Can you imagine? Listen, I hear where you're coming from, and I get what the feeling of. It's funny, really, because some people say it's a draw. Why are you so happy? I understand it, because I think Chelsea fans are starting to see genuine green shoots of progression, which make them excited about the future. And I'm someone that believes you should enjoy the journey. Natty here says this Chelsea project in 2 years is going to be dirty. I suppose dirty is, we used to say wicked when I was younger. It meant bad, but we made it mean good. Is that what dirty means now? Means good.
Yeah.
Right, cool. Sweet as. Swear, if someone comes over and says your daughter's dirty, they're getting a smack, bruv. Like, I'm telling you now. They're going to ride in my house. Anyway, as a United fan, I hope we happen soon, because a lot of teams like Chelsea, Spurs, Newcastle are going to keep improving, and time waits for no man. Absolutely spot on when you say that, mate. You really, really are. Defensively,
Not with
we
the
were
Glazers.
sloppy today. Fair play to Raheem Sterling. He's top of the league.
Really?
He's top of the league, 10th. I don't know what that means.
It means second half of the
Ah,
table.
you're top of the bottom half of the league. Ah, I like it.
I don't think that we were sloppy defensively today. This is what I'm saying.
Oh, we are.
People
If we're gonna split the hair, we are.
do you really
Those
think that we were
goals
sloppy?
are.
The goals were like good goals in transition, bro. And then they scored a deflection at the end as well.
I'm saying like the how easy they went from throwing in their own half to scoring goal.
Yeah,
you
but
cannot call it.
that's not just the defense. That came from the attack. They went through our midfield, and then our defense was split open like City due to multiple teams.
What I'm
I don't
saying
think
is
it was
like there's a slappiness in the way we conceded. It wasn't like we are supposed to have an actual little bit of like a cohesiveness between midfield and what's his name. The thing is, you mentioned
Would you say
as a unit?
I agree with that. But what he said in the super chat was the defense was sloppy, as in our defense, our back four was sloppy.
I think that's too much. That's too harsh on our team today. Like let's be honest, guys. This isn't a complete team after all. Like we just started like 3-4 months ago, if you want to look at it. And this defense, only Thiago Silva and Reece James have been actually in cohesion with the team for the past 3 years. I don't even consider Cucurella to be in full cohesion. So to put on Disasi and to chop and change Chilwell and Levi Colwill throughout the team throughout the season, and having Caicedo and Gallagher and Enzo to switch up between CDM and CM position for the whole 3 months it's a big transition, guys. So I think those goals from City are just City goals. Like we're playing against a team, I'll be honest, that is very, very good. Like this result today, regardless of how Anthony Taylor was being prime Anthony Taylor tonight, it was still a decent result for both teams. Both teams deserved to get those goals. City looked very bad.
You know what was sloppy? The second goal that we conceded was sloppy, but just before halftime, that was sloppy defending. But overall, I don't think it was sloppy. Bro.
It's not. Do you know what's interesting as well? Like, I know everyone wants to win, but if Chelsea and if Arsenal and if Liverpool and if Tottenham and Newcastle, we'll throw those names in, all genuinely start to close the gap on City, then what you are going to see in a lot of these, by the way, it used to be top 4. If we go to like having a top 7, there's going to be so many of these big clashes because suddenly you've got double the amount of people involved, almost double the amount of people involved back in the day. You're going to get a lot more draws. Sometimes we always take draws like losses, like they're kind of normal, but it's almost like they've been played down a little bit to a draw is just like a loss. And I don't think that's always true. This is a stop with this moral victories. Another 2 points dropped. Still only one game won at home this season. We ain't some North London wasteman team.
Anton, come on, you're my guy, but this is Man City, bro. And we nearly lost the game. We nearly lost the game as well. We came back and we got a draw, bro.
They haven't scored against City in like 6 matches. It's good.
He really wants to be angry, innit? He wants to be angry. Leave him in it.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? When you for example, when you consider the goal, are you looking how the back 4 defended by considering a goal, or you looking how the team laid off from the bird view when we lost the possession from the beginning?
So on the goal with Bernardo
because
Silva,
just for me, because I don't look at the like I'm looking briefly, how we got there.
Briefly, the goal, for example, I don't know which one it was, guys, where Bernardo Silva boots it from their corner flag and it goes all the way through our team. That's a collective unit, like you were saying earlier. For example, the set piece, again, that's a collective unit. You work on these things in training, like compactness and offside chats, whatever. That's collective. I wouldn't say we were sloppy and defenders were slipping around making individual errors. It was more like collective unit.
Collective unit was asleep. That's what my point.
That's what I'm saying.
Asleep at the moment.
It's not like an unforced error. Unforced errors are like Silva's deflected shot that went in. That's like
Disasi playing it out to Arsenal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I personally think you were sloppy in terms of the marking. I think it was Fernandes who should have stayed on Akanji for the first goal. And just after half time, I think you were too open for just at the beginning of the second half and you were too easy to play through. The other 2 goals, the first one wasn't a penalty and the second one was a decent shot that I think was going to be comfortably saved. So it's and then you've got to factor in, yes, you were sloppy, but you're also playing a team who scores goals against everybody for fun, who at some point in the last 5 years has made every team in the world look stupid. So you have to factor those things in, I think. Another super chat here. We'll try and get through these. Says we will go unnoticed, but Phil Foden today was like, yeah, Phil Foden, especially in that first half, was just he had a shot. And if you're watching on TV, you probably saw it better than the ground. He had a shot on his left foot.
So close.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought it was in.
Listen, I said before, him and I know Doku didn't have the best of game today, but him and Doku should be starting. Should be starting. When Lavia and Nkunku return, what happens to Enzo?
Nothing.
He's still playing the 4-3-3.
We're not putting him in front of a firing squad. Why are we people?
Thank you, Chelsea. Big up, Dom. Still getting Dom, you know. Dom from Liverpool. If only they knew, Don. If only they knew, Don. If only they knew. I wasn't familiar with Egal's game. Hamza, what? Yeah, no, Hamza ain't turned up today. I probably gone to his neighbour's house for some dinner. I don't know.
He was at the game. He was at the game. That's why.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's funny that Chelsea fans hated their squad 2 weeks ago, and now they are speaking of this of them highly. Just wait for the next loss for the meltdown, is what Della Spurs says.
It's the next bottom half team, man. I'm telling you.
They deserve it, though. Terry, they deserve it. I'm not gonna stay long, but they deserve all this. To be honest with you. Some City fans are coming at me saying I'm entitled, I am spoiled, but I don't care, to be honest. That's bad. That's poor. I'm sorry. There's a Chelsea team I can accept, saying this is a Chelsea team I can accept a draw or them to score for. That Chelsea team is straight doo-doo. That's what you call doo-doo. That's a pathetic Chelsea team. That's a poor Chelsea team. They're sitting 10th. Let me repeat. They are sitting 10th. This man... No, let me speak. This is the same team that's not even in the UCL. This team is bad. Chelsea team is bad. And when they played against Spurs, that was the worst game I've ever seen in the Premier League. That was bad. That was a bad game. And we allowed this bad Chelsea team, this dusted Chelsea team, this
hold that
team to outplay us. Look, look, at the end of the day, that's why I'm telling Chelsea fans, this you can be happy with this. I think this is an L for City. We should take this as a defeat. And when we go through the holidays, I know some people are like, we're still 1 point in front. No, I could have rather lost to Luton Town than losing to this Chelsea team. I'm sorry. This Chelsea team is bad. I'm just being serious. So I am not happy. I am not happy. And
what's bad about this Chelsea team? Enlighten me. What's so bad about it?
You guys are just poor. This is
no. You can't just say statements like that and then not back it up. What is poor about this Chelsea team?
My friend, if you watch football, right? If you watch football, which I've been watching football, and you're talking about a team like Chelsea. No, let me explain. A team like Chelsea, with the investment you put in, with the players you have at hand, that's not great football. It's only today I was surprised you upped your level, and the way you're playing was great. But look, at the end of the day,
how many Chelsea fans watch this season?
Is that a City fan? Is that a City fan crying about investment?
Guys, please, when I interject, just let him finish and then you respond, just so the viewers can hear, because they won't be able to hear when everyone jumps in. Thank you.
Look, at the end of the day, I don't know why you're getting pressed. I see your faces are changing. Don't get pressed. I'm actually here to congratulate you. I'm saying this is a congrats to you. This is a debut. Chelsea fans, if I were you, if I was a Chelsea fan, be shameless, because what you did to us, we looked lost for a minute. I was saying, Diaz, is it true that when people say Stones carries you, John Stones actually carries you? Because Diaz was all over the place. How pathetic can you be, Ruben Diaz, with your experience? Go tackle while you're 4-3. Let that guy go. That guy is a poor striker. He is not going to score anyway. And do you know what hurts me the most? We allowed Michael Blackson, a.k.a. Jackson, score against us. Michael Blackson score against us. No. I'm sorry. If Terry, this is... Some City fans were texting me. They're like, oh, calm down. It's okay. Don't be like this. No, we also sometimes have to call out this team. Today, when we started the game, even Foden with the flashes and everything, we look like we were not the team we are supposed to be. And trust me, Chelsea showed us levels today. And why it hurts me is because Chelsea is 10th. They've got 16 points in the league. Go to the table. You have to scroll to the next page to see Chelsea. That's where you're going to find Chelsea.
It's not true. We're on the first page.
You're removing the
just buy yourself a bigger screen.
Football is all about performance. Sorry, football is all about results, but you can't ignore performances. If you've been watching us this year, you would know that today is not much of a surprise, to be honest with you, in terms of how we play. We've been playing like this in multiple games. We played better than Liverpool, and they're in the top 4. We played better than Spurs. We battered Spurs the other day. I mean, that was a poor performance. But overall, I know all of that. Yeah, we played better than Arsenal. We played, in my opinion, we played better than you today. So you're disrespecting how we're playing right now. I know we're not getting the results, but there's many reasons for that. But we've missed multiple chances. We've conceded some sloppy goals. So if you look at it over 90 minutes, we haven't been performing at like what the table's saying right now. We shouldn't be where we should be where Man United are right now, for example, how they're performing, but they're getting results. That's the main difference. So I've got to disagree with you on that one, bro. We're not as poor as what you've been saying. And Chelsea this and Chelsea that, bro. I've seen performances like this in big parts this season against.
Can I tell you something? And I'm gonna be cold here. I don't know if you're a businessman. In business, we don't care that you were nice during the business deal. We care about results. United right now, where they are, I'm sorry, even how bad and pathetic they're playing. United scoring the goals win you games. At the end of the day, if you guys are 16th,
that's our problem. That's our problem.
Yeah, it's your problem. I'm embarrassed by the fact that we were beaten. We were more beaten by you guys. I'm sorry. I am embarrassed. I'm sorry, Chelsea fans. You can hate me. Your club.
I'm not hating you. No, I actually happy that you're saying that.
Not you.
No.
I'm talking about the chat, not you. Not you. I'm talking about the chat. Yeah, calm down. No, calm down. It's relax.
I am so down. Like after performance like this.
Yeah, but
I'm
you know
happy.
what? Okay, let me just be honest. I give you your flowers. Look, Terry, I give Chelsea their flowers. You outplayed Man City, and trust me, I think you guys deserved the game more than we did. I think Rodri just rescued us with that deflected goal. But at the end of the day, if this was a defeat, I still take it as a defeat. I could have accepted it. It's just that I'm disappointed because this is not the Chelsea team I was expecting to go toe-to-toe with us. And today they went toe-to-toe with us. Hopefully, maybe this is starting something for you guys.
Response, Terry,
Go on, Alex.
I was gonna say, like, I really don't like how you feel. It's on you. For me, it's actually makes it even more like a thank you. As bad as Chelsea is, thank you. Put us down. At the end of the day, what I see is more important for me than what you see. You see what I'm saying? So keep putting us down. Keep thinking that we're nobody. At the end of the day, we the Chelsea with no players, with 2 weeks team, we put it. And from the city to tell you amount of investment we got in, City fan, you telling me about how much investment we got in? You shouldn't want to be talking. We're cousins.
Yeah, at the end of the day, do you think I care? Do you know I don't care about spending. When teams are spending, I am
just
happy.
mentioned it.
Yeah, but look, let me explain to you why I mentioned it. I'm saying for a team that obviously was spending on that, because at the end of the day, you're broken records like we have, but you've broken more records. At the end of the day, if today what I saw is what you guys are supposed to be and what you're supposed to play, because at the end of the day, Caicedo was a 100 million player and he's supposed to show up, and Enzo is a
and he did. You didn't beat us.
That's why I'm saying at the end of the day, you're still a dusted team, and I'm embarrassed that today we drew against a Chelsea team that's 10th with 16 points.
That's fine by me.
Yeah,
that's
it's
okay.
fine by all of us. Yeah, we agree to disagree.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, like you saying that investment.
Football, I think we have to talk about context. Football is not like a business. Football is very different in terms of when you look at Chelsea. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I love the start of the season that they were so poor. But when you look at Chelsea, when you look at the players, when you look at the manager, when you look at the structure now at the club, I don't think anyone is surprised that come end of the season, Chelsea will become better and better because they bought like a whole new team. And this is the players who from back of the end last season, they were all down mentally. It was a mess, Graham Potter, Frank Lampard, everything was just a mess. They keep losing. So I don't think you can just switch that over a night. It takes time. Similar to what happened at Arsenal. It took time for Arteta to build up the club, to build up the mindset, to put that philosophy into the team. But you can clearly see that there is a clear pathway of what Chelsea want to do. And I think come end of the season, come next season, Chelsea will be up there again because they got a good manager now. They got a proper strategy of what they want to do, and they know what they want to do. And for Man City, I think what's disappointing for you guys is that normally when you go up on a lead, you don't lose that lead. I think for you to lose the lead, 3 times today, I think that's what's disappointing for you guys. And I think you got Liverpool next. So there is a bit of a pressure now over Man City because usually you do very well against the top 6 team. It's more the lesser teams you struggle against sometimes. But this season, you lost us, and today you drew to Chelsea. So that Liverpool game is going to be key for you guys.
I can
Also,
listen to this guy all day.
Just of interest of time, I've got to try and jump back to some of these super chats here. Great challenge here and great debate. Viewers, please make sure like buttons are being smashed for us, please. Gallagher didn't have a yellow, is what Gav says here. Okay, that makes sense. I don't think City respect Chelsea. They left themselves open. And I think you can hear a little bit on what Patrick said. I will say this is why I was surprised that everybody was attacking Egal for saying he thinks Chelsea could get something out of the game. I've watched every Chelsea game this season, and City are definitely better. But the idea they couldn't do anything, I felt was wrong all week. Let V finish his points. Again, sometimes you can let people finish their points, but when someone has a long speech, sometimes they say something at the beginning of it, and by the time you get to the end, that beginning point don't get challenged. So I like to stop it. Let's challenge that bit, and then we move on. But this isn't like Sky Sports where you get a minute to say your piece. This is a long format show, so we'll challenge and break down opinions right the way through. I will do that anyway as the host because it's easier to digest for the viewers. Again, we got disrespected. We played so good today. Nothing to do with a bad City performance. I agree with you, Daniel. I think you guys were great. Gallagher was fouled on a throw-in when City went on to score. What do you think of that? I don't remember. Again, I don't remember that bit. I didn't think it was too much, but fair enough. To be honest, I'm glad we played Chelsea at the Bridge early in the season as they seem to be getting stronger, especially against top opponents. It's a really fair point. That's it. Gallagher doesn't play with everyone fit, sadly. Well, that's a good thing. I wouldn't say that sadly. I mean, if you end up bringing better in, you become a better team, I wouldn't care. Club over players. Jim, get Jean-Claude Black Beck. How do you pronounce that? Blanc.
Jean-Claude Blanc.
And Paul Mitchell. Yeah, that'd be nice. Hope so. Don is going to get a shock when Nkunku comes back and Gallagher remains starting. He's vital to how we play, obvious to anyone that understands football. It's an interesting point. Who was everyone's man of the match? I'll go to Alex. Who would you give your man of the match to, bro?
Sterling, and then if it wasn't for him, the Cucurella. I think he was phenomenal.
Great shout. Defense was okay. Sanchez made some important saves. He did, especially that Haaland save where he cut through in the first half. That's very good from Sanchez. We all predicted doom for Chelsea. Let's apologize, is what Joel says here. Thoughts on Disasi and Silva switching places?
I think it was it wasn't like tactical. I think it was just moment.
In moments, I thought they were in the normal places most of the game. That's what I thought. Enzo will be dropped once Nkunku is back. He's washed. Oh,
can he go to Vegas? Can he go to Vegas to put some bets for me? Because
the thing is, Enzo plays deep. It's weird.
Yeah, it's meant to be deep. Big up Terry. I'm an Arsenal fan. Both teams played good. The draw was a fair result. They're going to draw with Liverpool after the break. We're going to be top of the league, is what Abdul has got to say here. Thank you, Abs. We're watching tennis, apparently.
That's a gal's comment back and forth.
Did City fans cry about someone else's money? No. Patrick responded to that, to be fair. He responded,
I did.
Bro, you've been supporting City 5 minutes. Clearly you don't know Chelsea.
I started them today. I just started this morning. I bought this City jersey online.
I met you before, Patrick. How are you? This City fan should stick to cricket, pure waffle. Do you watch cricket?
No, I don't. I don't even like the game.
This City fan should please shut up, is what John Peters says. Junior says Palmer never mum. Never man of the match. Okay, here we go. Never man of the match. I thought, never mum. What was he talking about? Sterling was quality today, but Palmer is currently the media darling. Listen, I think that both were phenomenal. If either one win it, it doesn't matter, does it? He's the sixth Chelsea supporter. He's the sixth Chelsea supporter. They gained a fan. Thank you very much. Look, I want to thank everyone who's been on the show today. Everyone who's hit the like button. Of course, everybody that has super chatted. It means a great deal to us. 115,000 views while we have been live, which is phenomenal for a draw as well. So thank you all. We're back tomorrow with the top 6 show in the evening, straight facts as well in the morning. So really looking forward to that with you all. Please make sure you're all back with us. My panel tonight, thank you all for your opinions and some new callers as well, which was great. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again